Hey, Apophis here, with the third and final part of our PvP 0 to Invade Ready guide. So in this video, I'll be going over the finishing touches to our build, or basically the build skeleton. So we'll be looking for the Ring of the Embedded, we're going to finish our boss weapon, then we're going to get a free boss shield, or boss weapon, it's up to you. So the first thing you're going to need to do if you've been following along is to actually get all of the Lord Souls so that you could enter Drangleic Castle, so that you could get the Frozen Flower, so that you could enter Eleum Loyce. So we're speeding through, we're going to go and do the spider boss, Freya. This boss should be pretty easy if you have the equipment that we've obtained previously, including Flynn's ring, so you should be doing some pretty good damage here. And so I kind of did this out of order. This was actually before I found Flynn's ring, but you could see that even without it, we're still doing major damage. Alright, so that's our second Lord Soul. Actually, no, that's our third. Because we killed the Rotten in the last video. So, you can go through Iron Keep, you get to the old Iron King. Pretty easy fight, just don't stand near the lava pits and you'll probably be fine. I'm even getting hit a few times here and it doesn't matter that much. As long as you have enough maximum HP, you should be fine. And there you go. So then you can enter Drangleic Castle. There's a couple mechanisms that require you to kill nearby enemies to power up golems or golem doors. So go ahead and do that. And at the first bonfire, you'll be able to go forward, enter the rightmost door, and then you'll pick up the Frozen Flower. Then you'll go back to the Shrine of Winter before Drangleic Castle. You'll be able to enter Eleum Loyce. So in Eleum Loyce, we're going to path straight to the Ring of the Embedded. I was very pleasantly surprised by this little run here. I'd forgotten some of these items were here as well. We'll see it coming up in a minute. With unupgraded armor, these enemies are pretty nasty. That's for sure. Yeah, best strategy is just blocking and backstab them. I was pretty hyped to actually get the Ice Rapier without even farming for it. That was extremely worth it. So behind these three dogs, there's actually a pre-upgraded wing spear. I would definitely pick that up. If you've invested any dex, aka 18 or more, it's a great choice in PvP. It has the stabbing R2 as well. So if you manage to whiff punish someone, you can do some major damage. So we're just going to run past all these enemies. There's no point to actually fighting them. I mean, unless you're farming for Ice Rapier. Yeah, generally if you go to the right and make a dash for the door, you can get in. That section can be extremely annoying. drop down, get the next bonfire. Go ahead and use it, recover your HP. I max out my adaptability. It took me a second to actually remember how to get to the little snowbank, but you have to drop down. So once you've dropped down, you just turn the corner and you should be able to pick it up. And go ahead and homeward bone. And at this point, you've collected all the rings, and you've probably found a few petrified dragon bones along the way. There are some in Iron Keep, there are some in Brightstone Cove, but that should give you enough for the 4. And we've also leveled up, so basically your stats should look something like this. We're staying below 270,000. We have enough souls left to upgrade one more weapon to either a +4 twinkling or finish our spear to +9. And since we're done leveling, we're going to go ahead and use our soul vessel to respec. So I recommend taking the minimum for whatever weapons you feel like using. So because I'm already invested in Warp Sword, we're going to get 25 dex. But let's say that Wing Spear was the most dex I was going to get on a weapon. We'd only get 18 dex and some minimal amount of strength to use other weapons that I feel like using. I think looking back at it, I should have put less into vigor and more into adaptability so I could use less peasant set pieces. That frees up your armor to have more defenses. Let's say if I want to level this character more. But realistically, because we're not trying to go over this cap right now, this is fine. I'm not going to use souls to upgrade my armor. Alright, good. So we've respec'd. So now we're able to use the Warp Sword. And I did some quick invasions after that, but we're going to go skip ahead a bit. So another ring you may want to pick up is the Stone Ring. So you just have to kill this ogre outside of the witch's hut and things betwixt. So just cross the bridge and make a right. Now we're going to collect all 5 dragon bones to get our final upgrade. I think I accidentally skipped one. There's a mimic in Drangleic Castle that you can kill before the room with the switch to pull down the gate. This is at the 3rd bonfire. And right here we're getting the one in Shrine of Amana. I actually recommend most people to skip this one. It is extremely annoying. Then you're going to head down to Undead Crypt. Near the 2nd bonfire, there's a room with a whole bunch of breakable rocks and bells. Don't hit the bells. But you'll make your way around the room like this, and you'll be able to pick up another Petrified Dragon Bone. And so it'll be tucked away in that little corner over there. So you kill Velstadt, you get the King's Ring. Great. So we get the Bastille Key from going from the servants' quarters and making a left. We're going to warp back to Strayed Zone. We're going to open up the jail cell next to him, and there'll be one more Petrified Dragon Bone. So that brings us to 3. But you could skip the 1 in Shrine of Amana. I find that it's like a huge waste of time generally, because there's 3 very easy ones right here. So in that bush that's over there, you're going to get a Petrified Dragon Bone. In the mirror room in the first room of Aldea's Keep, there's another Petrified Dragon Bone inside the chest. You don't have to kill these guys, you can just run past them. I don't know, I was pretty bored. Must have been. So then you're going to make your way up the stairs, and you can make a left when you're coming up the stairs, and that'll take you to another staircase. You don't need to unpetrify the ogre. This giant green lizard could actually drop Petrified Dragon Bones if you want to farm, but we don't want to farm. And same thing for the painting guardians inside those paintings. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the hidden bonfire down here. Then we're going to remove all of our gear because we're going to walk in the acid room on purpose. So make sure all of your gear is unequipped. Go ahead and open it. And it's actually the item to your right, but you want to lure the mole bear thing away from your current position anyway. So now we have all of our Petrified Dragon Bones. And there you go. Now you've got a finished boss weapon. And we still have some leftover souls. So I'm going to go ahead and enchant that wing spear that we picked up to lightning element. And then we're going to go ahead and reinforce it all the way to +9. If I had budgeted a little better, we could have had +10. So to get the Defender Shield, you're going to take the King's Ring, you're going to go back to King's Gate, you're going to make a left, and you're going to open the door to the Throne of Want with the King's Ring. Then for this fight, I prefer to summon Benhart. Because otherwise you're going to have all the aggro on you, and this fight's going to be extremely painful because you will not have upgraded armor, probably. And these guys are going to hurt. And another tip is to not actually finish off one. Leave it at low health and then let Benhart like tank it. Because basically we want to kill both of them at the same time because they resurrect each other. I didn't actually expect his power up to damage me. The Throne Watcher is way more annoying, just FYI. And there we go. So these souls build the best shields in the game, but to get it for free, we're going to have to go free Ornifex. So take this path. Go ahead and unpetrify this Lion Man. And when you've killed him, you get the Fang Key. So what we're going to do with the Fang Key, we're going to go free Ornifex. So drop down there. Make sure you don't step in the corrosive puddles, unless you want to repair all your gear. You don't want to do that. And you can farm these basilisks for various element stones, but yeah, just go ahead and talk to her until you exhaust your dialogue. Homeward Bone out. And then we're going to warp back to Brightstone. Except now we're going to go down. And make sure you kill as many of those wizards as you can. They become extremely annoying when you're being assaulted by other random crap. And there's Nessus Shard. I totally forgot that existed. Now you can take out the Red Phantom. Easiest way is just to push him into the pit. Now we can talk to Ornifex and get our free item. So yeah, you could trade for either the Watcher Shield or the Defender Shield. The Defender Shield's probably the best regular shield in the game, and the Watcher Shield, when Enchanted with Dark, blocks almost all dark damage, and it could parry pretty much anything. It's got great parry frames. So it's up to you, but I was looking for a good physical defense shield, so I picked Defender. But if you want the Watcher Shield, it's only 3,000 souls, so go ahead and budget for it, or just buy it. Either way, they're great choices, and the build is done. Well, I hope you enjoyed the full guide on making your own PvP character skeleton. You know, from here, you could pretty much go in any direction. If you decide to level up, you'll already have everything you need. If you don't, you'll pretty much have a very overpowered build for this soul memory. But it's quite possible to have a character made at a low soul memory and have several max upgrade weapons or near max. So this is a good exercise in basically farming all this myself and just showing that it can be done in a very reasonable amount of time. Without the Defender Shield part, this took about 5 hours and 30 minutes, which, you know, it's a bit of time, but it's not horrible. So there you have it. I think I might shoot a few more Dark Souls 2 videos while the game is still hot, and I could get some PvP on my higher level characters. I think after that, I'm going to play some Dark Souls 3 or maybe some other games. So yeah, if you like this video and you want to see more guides and more Souls content or PvP game content in general, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.